Well, it's another day that ends in Y, so we have more Pixel Watch leaks to show you guys. I'm just one person. I don't know who we are. Anyways, I brought you guys a video a few days ago where the person that actually was leaking this Pixel Watch information, the guy that had hold of the watch that was left in a restaurant that was totally by accident, definitely not on purpose. They did an AMA on Reddit and answered a bunch of questions. Well, now they actually have more stuff to show us because they now actually have the watch bands there with the watch as well to show it off on the wrist, answer more questions about it. And he says this is actually the most comfortable watch he's ever worn. Feels much thinner than the measurements would lead you to believe. Compared to his Galaxy Watch, feels like it's not even there. The crown does not poke into the back of his hand when bending the wrist back like that from typing, which is something that drives him nuts on other watches. I think that's a great thing, but there are a lot of pictures here to show, and I think that these pictures look quite encouraging. I know a lot of people, some people in the comments on my video said they didn't love the way it looked. Well, just as being just the watch itself, it's kind of hard to tell what things gonna look like though it's on the wrist, and I think on the wrist it looks relatively low profile, right? I mean, it's not anything crazy. You know, there's my TicWatch Pro 3 Ultra. Looks really similar to that. Of course, we have this watch band that kind of does tuck down inside behind the other side of the band, which I think is a good feature. That's my one complaint with my magnetic watch band that I use, is that it sticks off the other end and it gets snagged on stuff sometimes. So that's a pretty cool feature. And then here, just actually on the wrist on these two, I think it actually looks pretty good. Now, you can really get a sense here of how big those bezels are on the outside, and that's something that you're going to have to just get used to, right? If you're using a black AMOLED kind of background, just a black background, a lot of the stuff probably is going to fade around unless the light is directly on it, as we see in this image. But overall, I think that the appearance, the aesthetics are actually kind of growing on me. And you can imagine that in some other color variants possible, I know there were some leaks early on that perhaps this thing would have multiple different color variants. You could say this thing might actually look pretty decent. Like I said, I think it looks pretty good. Now, we also have some information here from Twitter from a pretty reliable leaker from 91 Mobiles. He says this is from a relatively new source, so perhaps take it with a small pinch of salt. But apparently the Samsung partnership is at work here as well. What that exactly means is unclear, but we also do know that it's apparently going to be using the same sensors as the most recent Galaxy Watch. So perhaps that's where that partnership is coming from, some of the hardware carryover, so ECG and more. It is, of course, going to be running that Wear OS 3.1 build that the current Samsung Galaxy Watches are running, that new version of Wear OS that has the kind of the best of Tizen and the best of Wear OS kind of brought together. Two sizes, at least 4 watch color bands, limited release price between $300 and $400. This is going to be a premium device that might not go to the region that you may be watching this video from. And unfortunately, Google has in the past made these limited release type things where their devices didn't come to a lot of regions that you would hope that it would come to. But at any rate, there's what the thing looks like on someone's wrist, and some additional possibly accurate information. Again, pinch of salt and all that good stuff. Guys, that's what I've got for you on this little bit. As more information does leak, I will be sure to bring it to you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.